Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are live for another edition of NASCAR 06 Total Team Control on the channel, and this evening we are at the Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, for tonight's Daytona 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It is a custom schedule season race tonight, and it is going to be an interesting one to say the least, because I have never won at Daytona in the Truck or Cup Series on a NASCAR EA Sports video game on the channel. In the Truck Series specifically, we haven't ran as many races. Of course, in NASCAR Thunder 2004, we didn't even have any Truck Series races, or Busch Series races for that matter, in that game. But in NASCAR 05, we went 0 for 5 in that game at this racetrack. And then so far in this game, in NASCAR 06, we are 0 for 2. So that means we are 0 for 7 in Truck Series races at Daytona on the NASCAR EA Sports video game. So we'll see if we can get our first career win at the racetrack today for myself. It's going to be interesting because we're going to be starting last without any practice or qualifying. It's going to be very, very difficult, but we'll see if our driver Ricky Craven can get it done. Craven comes in with a pretty tight points lead after the first 10 races. Still 15 races to go, but 2 trips here to this racetrack. Of course, one tonight. 39 points is the difference between himself and second place driver in points, Ron Hornaday. Hornaday jumped up a few spots in the last race in the standings virtue of a victory. It was his first win of the season, and it took place at the Levi Strauss Signature Speedway. So we'll see if Hornaday can go back-to-back today. We've had 7 different winners in the first 10 races of the Truck Series season, and Daytona is definitely one where we could see an 8th, and we're about to find out if that will be the case or not. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we are getting ready for today's race. Getting the chat up real quick. For whatever reason, I couldn't find my stream on YouTube, so that's why it was taking me a couple extra minutes there to go live. I had the stream. Yeah, I'm still not finding it. I don't know why it's not popping up on my laptop when I search. There we go. I got it now. I've got it now. Size E, Corey Freet, and others, welcome into the stream. And let's get the race underway. Size E's pumped. He's got Daytona with like 16 extra A's in it. Green flag is going to be in the air. Hornaday on the pole, trying to go back-to-back. The green flag is in the air. Already making a mistake. Bump draft on that outside lane right now as these trucks trying to get up to speed. I messed with the gearing, try to help me get up to speed a little bit quicker. Obviously that start wasn't great for Craven, but he's got to get moving early. Can't afford to just kind of sit back and wait, although he's going to have to get out of the throttle a little bit on the back straightaway. Try to keep from wrecking. Look at the pack breaking into 2 almost. A lot of 2 and 3 wide racing in the second group. Craven having a hard time trying to hold the outside. He's already against the wall. He can't get off of it. And he's going to lose the draft. I mean, that's just unfortunate. I was trying to run the outside so I could stay in the draft behind the trucks that were in front of me, and I couldn't even run the outside. Gotta be joking me. This is the kind of terrible luck I have on this game at Daytona. Talladega, for whatever reason, I can hold my own, get good finishes. Daytona, for whatever reason, I can't. Even Talladega, from time to time, I don't. I can't run the outside at Daytona. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the bumps that just kind of throw the truck or the car off, depending on what series it is. I did get a top 10 in the Busch Series season opener at Daytona. Craven hoping for a caution at the rear of the field so we can get another stack up. We're going to take our first field pass of the race when we get to the start-finish line this time. See if see if Ricky Craven can try to catch these guys on his own, but it's not looking great. Todd Kluver's in the lead pack right now towards the front of the field as he is currently on the inside lane in turns 1 and 2 up to 6 as he gets around Chad Chafin. Just got into the gas. Oh man, one truck popped up off the ground. So I accelerated. I took control of Kluver's truck and it just shot me straight up the racetrack. That's going to stall the pack out, though. It might allow for Craven to start to catch up again. It's been a weird first couple laps of this race, I'll tell you that much. And now it's a 5-truck breakaway at the front of the field. All I did was hit X. to transfer to Todd Kluver. And I think because I was in the middle of the corner, it just shot me straight up the track. I wanted to wait till the exit, but I only had a few more seconds. I didn't want it to just watch me in there without me knowing exactly when I was going to have control. One more lap with him, and then we'll go back to Craven. I guess Craven's going to catch the rear of the field. That's not the way I was hoping he was going to do it, because now, I mean, it's a race for 6, but the top 5 are so far apart from the rest of the field. Up the track goes Kluver, had to lift. Keep from wrecking the field potentially in the middle of 3 and 4. 3 wide, there's contact further back. And they're going to get stacked up a little more off the exit of turn 4. And we'll go back to Ricky Craven in the 99 for right now, who is all at the tail end of the field. In his 36th place position. Tried desperately to get into the draft of these guys. Oh, contact going into turn 1. A couple other trucks nearly wrecking again. That's going to allow Ricky Craven to get a little bit of drafting help now. One truck up against the outside wall off turn 2, a little bit further up towards the tail end of that second group. Craven trying to side draft the truck on his outside right now as they all just kind of freight trained him on the back straightaway. He was the only truck down on the bottom. Mark DeMars, Billy Kramer, Patrick Shadley, Michael Turner. Welcome into the stream, guys. Craven 11 seconds off the lead already, back in 34th. He started last. All the trucks he gets to, though, wants to run the outside, and Craven's truck just does not handle well enough to run up there. Another truck in the wall off turn 2. Craven on the back straightaway will hop in line behind the 135. Give him a little bump draft, try to get him going. And down to the bottom he goes into turn 3, which is finally where Craven wants him to go. He's got to hope that the wreck and a potential big one doesn't happen in front. Craven back to bump draft the 135 on the front stretch. Got to be careful doing that in the tri-oval and in the corners. Craven is all over him. We've got trouble somewhere around the racetrack. Caution's out for the first time. So this will bunch the field back together again, at least. Oh, the race leader went around. Oh, hard hit for Ron Hornaday. The race leader has just flipped in turns 1 and 2. He lost control. It looked like the truck just got loose, backed into the wall, and he ended up on the driver's side door, and then back down on all 4 halfway down the back straightaway. So caution flag is out. What a wild start. The race leader, Ron Hornaday, has crashed all on his own. I mean, he didn't have another truck directly behind him. It was a 5-truck breakaway at the front of the field, too. He just got loose off turn 2. Green flag back in the air, lap 11. Hornaday's still going to be the leader, but he's got severe damage. Craven on the single file restart going to try to take advantage and get as many spots as he can. Starting in last, he started in that outside lane earlier. Seemed like Craven took off well on the initial start, but that restart was not well for him at all. Hornaday's just lost the lead immediately in turns 1 and 2 as Shigeki Hattori is out in front. He was another driver that was contending at the Levi Strauss Signature Speedway. Craven's got some help from behind right now. Not anymore. Now that truck's going to get underneath him. We are 11 laps complete at Daytona. In the Daytona 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, our second trip to the track. And our first 11 races of this custom schedule season. No Talladega on the Truck Series schedule in 05, so same goes for this schedule. I guess the good news is being at the back of the pack right now is that Ricky Craven's keeping his truck clean. So it does have some speed. He's trying to cling on to the back of this lead draft. just barely going to cling on to that 135 truck on the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. He closes in 3 wide just up ahead. Here, contact off turn 4. And what it looked like, a couple other trucks nearly getting together in the tri-oval. Craven's got a lift to keep it off the back of the 135. Didn't want to hit him too hard. Down to the bottom goes Craven, 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. That's an aggressive move from Ricky Craven, trying to get past the back marker trucks at the rear of the field right now. It clears everybody down the back straightaway and hops back in line, trying to get a draft off the 64 truck. So it's up 6 spots. It took 12 laps to do so. It's about every 2 laps he's passing 1 truck, it seems like, on average. Of course, that caution took away a few extra laps. Hard to tell exactly what kind of speed Ricky Craven has. He's getting blocked big time by the 64. He'll work with him, the 121 truck. Had a bit of a run-in the Levi Strauss Signature Speedway a few races ago. The 64 getting a good push from Ricky Craven on the bottom. They're working well together right now, getting by the trucks that are stuck on the outside and can't get to the bottom themselves. Craven's truck handles well, and it's fast on the inside. It just does not handle well when he's on the top. He's going to pull out a line on the 64. We thought about making a block. 3 wide to the inside goes Craven on the back straightaway. And Ricky Craven's got a head of steam into turn 3. Shifts to the outside in the middle of the corner, so that way he can try to get a draft off Terry Cook. He's far enough behind him, the dirty air isn't going to affect him too much. Now he's going to get a big push from the 121. Kind of followed him up through there on that inside lane 3 wide. Terry Cook up high to block. Down to the bottom goes Craven. Craven's making some headway. Oh, and he gets blocked into turn 1. Caution, 1 truck is around. Craven saves it. The truck that tried to throw the block on him was the one that ended up wrecking, as he ended up basically turning himself off the front bumper of Craven's truck, and into the outside wall he goes. And up and over goes the 153 down across the grass in turns 1 and 2. Our second flip already in this race. And that was, I mean, I'm surprised more trucks weren't involved. And what a save by Craven. That was just a terrible block by the 153 that caused that accident, really. Hornaday still in second, but again, Hattori is the leader. Looks like Bobby Hamilton's in third. We're going to have another restart. Green flag back in the air, lap 19. 2 early cautions tonight at Daytona. Craven trying to side draft Deborah Renshaw quickly on the restart. I don't know how much is going to be left in these tires for Ricky Craven, considering that was a pretty gigantic slide, all things considered. Passes 2 or 3 trucks initially on the restart. Like there was a big stack up going into turns 1 and 2 back there. Craven just going to try to block Renshaw and hold the bottom. Craven getting squeezed right now. You don't want to get below that yellow line in the middle of the corner and risk wrecking. Very easy to do at this racetrack on this game. Craven going low. Oh, got squeezed again. Truck in the outside wall looked like. Might be Kevin Harvick in the 90. Oh, 1 truck's blowing up. That's why there was a stack up. Somebody just blew an engine trying to get down to the bottom and out of the way. I couldn't tell who that was. Somebody nearly got in the wall trying to get to the outside, as they were already 3 wide when that truck blew the engine trying to get out of the way. Craven getting a nice little push from Terry Cook, trying to cling on to Brandon Witt, the 38 truck in front of him. Cook to the inside, though. He's got a gigantic run, and Craven's going to be on the top, which is not where he wants to be. He's got a run in the tri-oval, though, and he'll get back down to the bottom on Terry Cook. It'll go 3 wide as he dives underneath the 38 truck. Brandon Witt as well. Craven's making a lot of 3 wide passes. Bit of a checkup going into 1 and 2. And Craven just sandwiches himself in line. He lost a lot of momentum, though, given the bump draft to the 18 of Chase Montgomery. Cook nearly takes him 3 wide. Witt's still on the outside. Deborah Renshaw is going to go up the middle 3 wide between Terry Cook and another lap truck. I'll tell you what, middle of the pack, these guys are getting very racy. Craven's got to run off turn 4. That was the Kyle Busch 2012 Bud Shootout like save that I made with Craven in 1 and 2. That last caution came out. Just got blocked down there. There weren't sparks flying, but kind of slid sideways up and down the banking a little bit. Held on to it. Well, the caution came out behind. From last to 13th, though, right now for Craven as he pushes the 107 truck into turn 3. 30 truck of Chad Chafin pulls down to the bottom. One truck will slide in line between those drivers. I believe that was Kevin Harvick. Slides right in front of Craven now. Chafin to the outside, the 107 underneath him. Oh, Harvick with a bad block, and he nearly turned himself. Seeing a lot of daring blocks going on right now, and a lot of them on the front stretch. Kevin Harvick staying in the throttle. He didn't lose anything there despite wiggling around like crazy as he still gets around Chafin and now dives underneath the 107 truck for position. Craven's got a massive run on the back straightaway. 195 miles an hour into turn 3 as he goes 3 wide down to the bottom. Manages the throttle, clips the apron. Chafin clears the 107 truck. This guy's starting to get a little too racy, and I say that because it seems like the top 9 trucks are more single file than everybody else going 2 and 3 wide behind them. And we're starting to break into 2 groups again. Chafin trying to get back around Kevin Harvick. Craven trying to just do the best job he can right now and trying to keep his truck clean. He's going to ride the outside through 1 and 2. See how much momentum he's going to get off the exit of the corner. Pulls towards the bottom. Goes back towards the top. He's going to go up the middle. 3 wide. What a move by Ricky Craven. And up to the top 10 for the first time tonight as he clears Chafin into turn 3 as well, who's still stuck on the outside with no help. Craven going to let the 92 truck of Kevin Harvick get underneath him so Craven can try to be the push truck. Harvick almost pulled up a little too high, too early. One truck slow in the tri-oval. Everybody's checking up. Somebody else about got turned and into the wall. Craven now to bump draft the 92 of Kevin Harvick to get these guys up there. He just shot him right into the next truck in front of him. Everybody bottlenecking now. This is sketchy. 107 just got blocked into the wall by Craven. Craven slid up too early. It is dicey tonight at Daytona. Craven gonna let that truck in front of him, the 139. Want to damage this truck too much because Craven's obviously got some speed. Quarter of the race has already clicked by. We're down to just 75 laps to go. He's going to have to run the outside, at least in turns 1 and 2 because the 139's up there and he needs to stay in the draft. Trying to get a half truck length lower just to keep it further off the wall. Now on the back straightaway, he's going to give the 139 truck a big push. Massive push at that. Craven having to lift a little bit. He didn't want to sneak underneath the 139. Yep, Van Dyke is in the 139. Craven's got a big run going into turn 1. He's going to try to get by Van Dyke. He'll do so. He's up to 11th. Felt he was close enough to the 4 trucks in front of him, and I think he is. At least on the 10... I can't even tell what number that is with these graphics. 108? 106? I think it's 108. Massive run, though, on the back straightaway again for Ricky Craven. Pulls to the inside. Just got to get there in time, and he's up to 10th. He didn't want to lift with that run, and now he's behind Harvick in the 92. 3.8 seconds off the lead. Again, we've had 2 cautions, 2 flips. 1 flip in each wreck so far. All in the early going. Harvick getting a push in the tri-oval for Craven. Fastest lap by the 99. That last lap was a 47.301. Hops down to the bottom now underneath Harvick into turn 1. This is for position. Craven slides up. Didn't lift. Clears Harvick in the middle of the corner. Might have been a little bit too far behind the 2 trucks in front of him, though. We'll see how good of a push Craven's going to get on the back straightaway. Initially from Harvick. Trying to get to the 86 truck up in front of him. The 86 gets alongside that truck he's battling with right now. He might have a shot. Craven up to 9th. Oh, we got a truck in the wall off turn 4. Somebody just got up into the wall, got a bit tight. They're going to be slow in the tri-oval, as this pack of trucks is going to slowly start to catch up. Craven never had to lift. It's another truck that's lost the draft at the front of the field now. About a 5-truck breakaway again, I believe. Just like it was at the very start of the race. Kevin Harvick trying to push the 99 of Ricky Craven. We get to the start-finish line this time by. We'll take our second and final field pass of the day. We'll go to Todd Kluver in the 50 truck. Not sure where he's running. Maybe he's still in the top 10 like he was earlier. Maybe not. We got a slow truck right now in turns 1 and 2, by the way. It's likely blown an engine. Craven to quickly try to block Kevin Harvick. Into Kluver we go. And Kluver was actually the truck that just got into the wall, because he's in 6th, right in front of Marvin Sheth in the 133. We're just going to try to block. Slow truck on the back straightaway down to the bottom. I believe it was the 121. And has blown an engine. He's trying to make it into the pits. 70 to go, this time by at the line. Shigeki Hattori out in front still, ever since Hornaday wrecked from the lead, even though Hornaday's still up there in the top 5. Wonder if he can make it to the end of the race so the damage ensued from that single car accident. Single truck accident. Craven can get up to Kluver. That'd be great if these 2 Roush teammates could work together. It's not like the Cup Series where there's 5 Roush cars, and even in the Busch where there's 3. It's just these 2. Kluver outside the top 10 in points. He started off really good this season. He's kind of fell off the last few races. We'll go to Ricky Craven at the start-finish line. He is just in line behind these trucks all of a sudden. And there he is, in 9th place. And he's got a run going into turn 1. The 133 trying to block. 3 wide to the bottom goes Craven. Squeezes underneath. Craven's making some gutsy moves himself today, but every time he's making them, he's not making contact with anybody. He's making them clean. It's the late blocks that have kind of held him up a little bit. That have happened on 1 or 2 occasions. Now he's getting freight trained. He made that move to the bottom, but he couldn't get it to hold. We're still leading this second group. Sheth with a big block on the 86 of Chapman. Massive run. Craven trying to bump draft Chapman into turn 1. Trying to get him underneath Marvin Sheth, but he's not going for it. Craven backing up to get a run off turn 2 and a push from behind by Van Dyke in the 139. Darren Dill, thanks for tuning in, man. Long time no see. Appreciate you stopping back. Massive shot that almost went wrong going into turns 3 and 4. bottom lane's going to be open now. Oh, Van Dyke gets up into the side of Craven just a bit. He got tight, and I think Sheth ended up scraping the wall a bit off turn 4 just in front of these guys. Big run into the corner. Craven under Sheth. Little contact. Sheth kept it off the wall but had to lift, and he's going to lose momentum. Craven up to 8th. Quickly trying to get to Todd Kluver in the 50. So he can try to work with his teammate. Craven up to a race high 7th place position on the back straightaway. Now he blocks Chapman into turn 3. Is he close enough to Todd Kluver to be able to work with him? We'll have to wait and see. Right now it's looking like he may be. If he can get enough of a push from Chapman, considering Kluver doesn't have any drafting help in front of him, I think there's a chance Craven could get to the 50. If he gets close enough behind him, and they can start working together and try to cut into this deficit. 35 laps complete at the start-finish line this time by. Craven's got a massive run right now in the back straightaway. Kluver running the bottom lane into turn 3. Craven will follow. And we'll see if these Roush trucks in 6th and 7th can try to catch up to the leaders. 5.1 seconds off the lead. Should be a one-stop race today. Big bump draft in the tri-oval from Craven to Kluver. Oh, man, even a little bit in 1 and 2. Craven's getting really pushy. Things are getting a bit shovey out here. Daytona. Craven lifting on the back straightaway. He had too much of a run underneath Kluver. He's going to try to let the 50 back in line in front of him again. Almost seems like the top 2, Hattori, maybe Hornaday still up there, are kind of pulling away from even 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Back behind these guys. Craven a little tight that time into 1 and 2. It's going to be an interesting call of exactly when you make your pit stop. Because I'm sure we're going to see some drivers pit right at the halfway mark, probably even as soon as that window opens to the end of the race. I mean, maybe we can go 40, 60, 45, 55. I think we're going to see some drivers pit just before halfway because they know they can make it. Remember this being a one-stop race in the first race of the season, too. Oh, we've got trouble! There's a truck in the outside wall, or at least one that hit the outside wall. There was some smoke. And then it dissipated quickly, and it was the 04, Bobby Hamilton, who goes for a wild ride. And he does not flip. He went down the track so quickly. I saw the smoke on the outside, and there was so much smoke that you couldn't even see him back it down the racetrack again. And luckily, everybody misses him. He does keep it on all 4, though. So Bobby Hamilton is now wrecked. And we are going to be seeing potential pit stops here. I don't know what the window is. Craven's going to pit. And everybody else is going to stay out. 4 tires and fuel for Ricky Craven. And he's going to give up some vital track position. But can he make it on fuel to the end of the race is the question. 3 cautions already in the first half of tonight's race. And they've all been because the driver's just getting loose in the middle of the corner. 3 trucks have just gotten loose in the middle of the corner and kind of slid up into the wall. 2 of them flipped, and Hamilton didn't flip, but luckily he didn't get hit by another truck either. I guess the 153 threw a bad block. That was the reason why he had the caution. He didn't get loose. I've seen trucks get loose so that haven't hit the wall. Kluver hit the wall off turn 4 earlier. So a lot for Craven to catch up to him. Well, green flag back in the air. We're going to have 59 laps to go. Now, the good thing is Craven just pitted. He could potentially go fuel only then. And I don't think that would be a terrible decision to go fuel only. We got some major stacking up going on right now in this restart. Craven's up on the outside. They're just getting up to speed, so I don't think it's going to be too bad for him. But not exactly what he would have wanted. So the idea for Ricky Craven is to potentially go fuel only with pitting for tires that time. Means he's got about 40 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field. He's only, by the time everybody pits, he's only going to have about 10 to 15 lap older tires, which does make a difference at this bumpier Daytona surface, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be as bad as if he just went the whole race on the same tires. And honestly, he had a lot of grip for the most part. He was getting a little tight at that point in the run, but still had grip for the most part in the race truck. Bobby Hamilton, after just wrecking, is now in the lead following this restart at Daytona. Window 47 to 52. I didn't see your previous comment earlier. Notorious 6 for tuning in. I'm alright with this strategy call. I don't like being back at traffic in case we get the big one, but especially the way we've been seeing wrecks today, but at the same time, it gives us the opportunity to go fuel only if we get to green flag pit stops, because nobody else is pitted. That tells me they don't think that we can make it to the end on fuel. Craven making some moves again, 3 wide to the bottom. He's got the tires to be able to try to pull it off. Even when he didn't, though, he was still trying to pull it off earlier. For the most part, it was working out for him. Have to block the 164 truck down towards the bottom. Trying to hold him at bay. Craven does not want to be 3 wide middle. Behind the 137 truck. Bobbled around in the middle of the corner. And we've got some trucks pitting off turn 4. So Craven might actually make it on fuel to the end of this race. That is going to be an interesting strategy call. Can Ricky Craven make it on fuel? We're going to have a fuel mileage race at Daytona. I think he's only 2 laps short. And if we get a caution, which is worth 3 caution laps, I think Craven's going to be able to make it. If we get 1 caution, I think Craven can make it on fuel, which means he can stay out. He'll be the leader. It's definitely interesting, to say the least. Trucks that just pitted are going to be in danger of going a lap down as they're trying to get up to speed. A little less than a third of the field hit pit road when they did that last time by. It is definitely a Hail Mary call, that is for certain. I've never won a Daytona in the Trucker Cup Series before. Fuel mileage might be the way to actually do it. My former favorite driver, Greg Biffle, can get his first career win at Daytona on fuel mileage, and I certainly can as well. That wasn't in the Truck Series, but needless to say, it happened. 2003 season, his rookie season, in fact. Craven only has 4 trucks behind him. So that tells me we had about, well, I don't know how many trucks were out of the race. I think we had a couple out of the race. At least probably 7 or 8 trucks hit pit road as soon as that window opened up. Craven gets back by the 164, trying to draft off the 107 on the outside. He goes back down to block the 164, though, off turn 4. Trying to get a push. in the tri-oval. And he's getting enough of a push that he's going to start to close in on the 107. So it was a good pass when he pulled on a line. And a good block as well when he did. 107 truck got a little tight, moves to the outside. Craven stays in the gas, stays in the draft behind the 137, makes the pass. Vincent, that's who I thought it was. 137 truck. Craven going to bump trap Vincent on the back straightaway. Lifted a little bit going into turns 3 and 4. He felt the truck bobble around again. You almost have to just anticipate that it's going to do it. It's the easiest way to try to catch it. Even with another move. This one under Vincent makes the pass. 123 truck also trying to make a move down towards the bottom. Craven's going to slide up. He's going to just make sure he clears that truck he was trying to pass initially. And try to get the push on the back straightaway from him now on the outside lane. And try to block as well as he's getting a run on the 123. Major run into the corner. Lifted to keep from bump drafting in the center of the corner on the 123 that time. Got a slow truck in turns 3 and 4 trying to get into the pits. Another engine failure, it appears. We'll be halfway home this time by, and we'll have a trivia question for tonight's race when we do get to the start-finish line this time by. Oh, there's some lap trucks mixed in with the lead lap trucks that already made their green flag stops up here. Slightly fresher tires, only by 2 laps than Craven. Oh, big block by the 123! And he's going to save it, but he did end up stuffing Ricky Craven into the wall with that block. And Craven lost a lot of momentum. He was going to the outside because he had a run and wanted to stay in the draft of the truck that was in front of the 123. And as soon as Craven moved up, he got blocked into the wall. 50 down, 50 to go. 7.4 seconds off the lead for Ricky Craven. What appears to be a potential fuel mileage race at Daytona. Give up the bottom so he can try to hop back in line. Tonight's trivia question on the channel is this: who is the only driver to start last in a Truck Series race at Daytona and win? Pretty quick question tonight. Only one driver in NASCAR history has ever won a Truck Series race at Daytona while starting last in that race. Who is it? You don't have to name the year, just name the driver who won it. Well, Mark DeMar's got it. First guess. Oh! Chafin got up into the wall. Kept enough control of it not to bring the caution out. But yeah, Bobby Hamilton is the correct answer. Assuming you meant Bobby Hamilton Sr. But yeah, Bobby Hamilton was the answer. Craven gave a big push to the 164 truck going into turns 3 and 4. Back into 17th. 137 just bounced into the wall again on the outside. 2005 was the year Bobby Hamilton won that race. It was in this very race. And Ricky Craven tonight, starting last, trying to do the same thing in the same year. And coincidentally enough, Bobby Hamilton's the leader of this race right now. Everything's starting to come full circle at lap 53. Only driver to ever start last to win the race is Bobby Hamilton in the Truck Series at Daytona. It was 2005, which is the year this game came out. Bobby Hamilton's currently leading this race, and then we started last and we're trying to replicate that history, only with a different driver. And we have a chance to do so on fuel mileage right now. Oh my gosh. I did not plan for that to be the case. I mean, I did not plan for me to ask that trivia question as Bobby Hamilton was leading. Nevertheless. Illuminati confirmed. in our NASCAR 06 Daytona live stream. 164 in the 99 starting to pull away a bit from the trucks further back behind him. One truck down on the apron right now into turns 1 and 2. The 164 truck getting a big push on the back straightaway and a bump draft from the 99 of Craven. I think that was the 123 truck that was trying to throw some blocks earlier. And we got some trucks checking up off of turn 4 because of the 123, and Craven's going to make a couple more passes on the racetrack. Slides up with the run on the back, I should say the front stretch. Oh, just couldn't get to the bottom in time into turn 1. 153 truck was the one that tried to block Craven earlier down on the bottom into turn 1 and caused the second caution of the 3 we've had so far today. Craven right back in line on the top though. And the 153 truck getting blocked into turn 3 just a bit. A bump trap from behind. They get tangled together just a bit, and Ricky Craven move up at least one position. Oh, and we got 2 trucks together off turn 4 now. Out of the rearview mirror of Ricky Craven. A couple other trucks on pit road, making their only stop of the race. No caution though, we stay green. Ay, ay, ay. Craven with another bump draft to the truck in front of him. More leaders coming into the pits this time. Ricky Craven's got to go 59 laps on fuel at Daytona in the Truck Series. We know the Truck Series has an extended fuel limit or fuel tank compared to the Truck and the Busch Series in this game when on tracks 1.5 miles and bigger. But for today's race, will be extended big enough for Ricky Craven to go those 59 laps. If it stays green, it's going to be tough. He's about 2 laps short. Big run down on the bottom and a push into turn 3. Craven gave the truck right in front of him. That truck's going to pull into the pits off turn 4. Craven trying to get to the 110 now and not lose control or lose the draft of him. Craven's going to need to draft all the drivers he can to try to save as much fuel as possible. It's about the only way you can save at Daytona. And he is close enough to the 110 truck. He's up to 9th place, only the top, 8th place. Only the top 7 still have to hit pit road. And have some trucks down to the bottom of the track trying to get up to speed. Craven trying to bump draft the 110 as much as possible on the back straightaway. Shot him into turn 3. Todd Kluver on his way in. 110 truck stays out again. He might have already pitted. Might not be on the lead lap. But there are some trucks that cycle out of the pits, so that are right around. Oh, the 123's pulling up right in front of Kevin Harvick. And up the middle, 3 wide, went Ricky Craven to miss everybody at full speed at about 185 miles an hour in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Good grief. I didn't have time. I thought I was going to run right into the back of him. I don't know how I got through there. I don't know how I didn't hit the truck on my outside trying to go up the track, too, to miss Harvick. To go up to miss him, and I almost squeezed the truck in front of me into the wall. We somehow didn't even make contact. And Craven stayed in the gas, so he didn't lose his momentum. Now the truck in front of him just got into the wall in turns 1 and 2. Craven had to pull to the bottom in the middle of the corner. He's going to look the draft behind him again on the back straightaway, I would have to imagine. And he will. We know the 109 is already pit. Top 3 still have to hit pit road. Couple trucks try to get up to speed in turns 3 and 4. Craven washes up the track. Gets around the 109. Further up, he can pass some trucks here too. That's more trucks that are going to be a lap down if we do get a late race yellow. And if Craven does have to pit, or chooses to pit, I mean, he was I was already on the double yellow line. I don't know how much further he wanted me to go there. Craven had to run. The 137 just kept coming down. Craven was more than a half a truck underneath him. Quick bump draft to Chad Chafin. Going into turn 3. 39 laps to go this time by. Looks like Bobby Hamilton will be on his way into the pits. And Ricky Craven, who has not led all night long, is going to be in the lead at the start-finish line this time by, and he'll lead his first lap of the race. 5 bonus points for Craven. 39 laps to go. Can he make it on fuel to the end of the race? He's got to go 2 more laps than those that short pitted a few laps after the restart. Harvick being checked up down on the bottom. Oh my goodness, 4 wide into turn 3. Second time Harvick got checked up right in front of Ricky Craven and he missed it again. Oh my gosh. But they have an anxiety attack. Good Lord. How did we not wreck again? First time we split him 3 wide up the middle. That time we went 4. Oh my goodness. I don't know who that was. It wasn't the 123 that time. I need a new pair of britches. We get another caution. I'll be changing my fire suit before we get to the finish here. There's the 123 down on the apron of the racetrack right now. Craven in line right behind Kevin Harvick in the 92, who we let back in front in turns 1 and 2 that last time by. 37 laps to go this time. Oh my gosh. We've had some near misses in this race, let me tell you. That save we made in turns 1 and 2 earlier when the wreck was behind us. Down on the apron, I was sliding Kyle Busch 2012 Bud Shootout style and somehow saved it on the 153 truck, who happens to be below us right now and will make the pass on slightly fresher tires. And then the near misses we've had when Kevin Harvick got held up by I think it was a truck coming out of the pits that time, and then it was the 123 truck earlier. Yeah, held up twice right in front of Craven. Craven went 3 wide middle of 1 and 2 at 185 miles an hour. Then about 190 plus going into 3. They were 4 wide a couple laps ago, and he tried to miss everybody and didn't make contact at all in any of that. Got some 3 wide racing going on further up ahead. This has definitely been a race tonight at Daytona, and I'd be shocked if it goes green to the end with all the near misses we've seen in the second half of this race already. Craven to bump draft the 153 truck. Trying to shove him past the 92 of Harvick. Craven got tight. He got tight in line behind the 153. Went up the track. Contact with Harvick. Now he makes contact with Chad Chafin. He's back in the wall again off turn 4. That's going to cost Ricky Craven quite a bit of time right now. "35 laps to go. Chafin moves up the track right in front of one of the cars at the tail end of this pack. Craven's got to get up to speed before he thinks about letting somebody in front of him so he doesn't just get blown around, and he'll at least have somebody to draft off of. I mean, if it stays green to the end, it's just going to be a matter of can Ricky Craven make it on fuel. Got 3-wide racing going on behind Craven right now into turn 3. All these trucks trying to get back on the lead lap in case we get a late caution. 3 wide off turn 4. Craven in the middle, hanging on to it. So I'm dancing around through the bumps off turn 4. Wall scrape, nothing major there. Earl Arnold Jr., thanks for tuning in once again. Listening at work again, appreciate it, man. Appreciate your dedication to watch on a nightly basis. Well, I don't. My answer is I don't think we will. But let me know down in the chat. Answer this question. Do you think we'll stay green to the end of this race? Because right now, we're sitting at still 3 cautions in this one. And this is our longest green flag run of the day so far at 29 laps. Or we went green at lap 42, so a little less than that. I think the caution came out 29 laps ago, but about 26 laps into this green flag run. It's still the longest of the race, though. Ricky Craven again trying to win this race on fuel mileage. He's got a couple trucks in front of him again he could try to draft off of. He's only 29.4 seconds ahead right now of second place. I say only because Craven didn't actually pit during this run. But he's had some near misses. And some other stuff that has kind of stacked him up at times. A bump draft the 137 on the backstretch heading into turn 3. Trying to get these 2 trucks out in front of the rest of this pack. So it'll be a little bit more calm for Craven as he sits behind the 137. We are down to just 31 laps to go in this race. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today. Craven underneath the 137, kind of unintentionally going into turn 1 that he got underneath him. Gonna have to get to about 28 laps to go and be halfway on fuel as he just kind of squeezed the 164. Yeah, I don't think Craven's gonna make it on fuel to the end of this race. I do not think he's gonna be able to make it. Chafing down on the apron right now. Bit of a block again by Craven. 28.4 seconds is the difference. I think Craven's still about 2 to 3 laps short on fuel. He's going to need 1 or 2 cautions. 30 to go. Billy says we're going to get 2. Not really because of luck. Been lucky so far during the run, I'll tell you that much. Big run going into turn 1 for Craven. Want to live, just wanted to keep the momentum up. It's on the inside of the 137. Ricky Craven's going to pit this time by. He is going to accept the fact that he is not going to make it. He's going to go gas and go And he's going to try to cycle out in front of the field. He's got 28.2 seconds back to the second place race truck right now. He's going to try to lock him up off turn 4. He's going to abuse the tires, getting down to pit road speed, trying to get all he can, and he did get all he can. He did not speed either. No tires, splash and go. It's going to be just a quarter tank of gas. And this is the money stop for Ricky Craven and his pit crew right now. Splash and go. Estimated 7 seconds. They did get the fuel tank. The fuel can in. It's 4 seconds. Oh, man. Did they put enough fuel in it? Is the next question. Can he get out in front of the leaders? He's going to pull up onto the racetrack. And Ricky Craven has the lead. Now can he get up to speed before the leaders get to him in turns 1 and 2? He's trying to block. And he couldn't do it enough. Bobby Hamilton is going to take the lead. Craven's trying to get up to speed still. Hamilton went by full speed to the inside and was able to get out in front of Ricky Craven. Now he's trying to block John Hamilton on the back straightaway. And I think Shigeki Hattori is up here as well in the 9 truck. Hamilton's getting away right now. And now John Hamilton to the outside for second. John Hamilton got to get by. Craven trying to get up to speed still. And now the 9 is going to get to the outside of Ricky Craven. In the tri-oval. Oh, not quite. Craven hangs on. Bill Lester closing in. 4.3 seconds off the lead. Craven's going to have to let one of these guys by. The Tory going to try to do that on the outside right now. Tory gets in front of gets in front of Craven. Craven locked his tires coming into the pit, so he definitely used his tires up a bit. Craven losing some spots right now. Locking Renshaw. He just can't keep his momentum up right now to try to stay in the share draft with these other drivers. Desperately trying to stay in the draft of Bill Lester. I think he abused his tires a little too much trying to come into the pits. I didn't want a caution to come out and have to pit and lose more track position. That's why I decided to pit when I did. It's really, really close on if Craven's going to actually be able to keep up with Lester and Hattori. Might have to consider letting Deborah Renshaw get by. Off of turn 4, that's going to be the plan. 25 laps to go at Daytona. And the right rear is wearing out on the 99 at Craven. He definitely locked the tires up, and that cost him. He was trying to get as much speed as he could. He just couldn't get up to speed quick enough. And obviously they were coming in with too much speed as well. Craven's starting to lose a lot of spots all of a sudden. He's back to 6th. He's got a plethora of race trucks really starting to close in as well. Marvin Shett in the 133 truck. Got to give Craven a good push. Craven up on the outside. Shett's got to get by on the bottom. Craven's just trying to draft off anybody at this point. He doesn't have any rear grip. Club, thanks for tuning in. Craven to the inside of Shett, trying to get a spot back just in case caution comes out. Want every position possible. Craven to 6th. Right behind Deborah Renshaw. Craven will work with Renshaw. 5 seconds off the race lead. Craven going to bump draft the 8 truck now on the back straightaway. .8 seconds off the lead. Gained 3/10 on the back straightaway with that bump drafting going on between Craven and Renshaw. Might have to just consider doing that every lap, honestly, at this rate. Not going to do it in the tri-oval and risk spinning out, because there are still positions up for grabs. Renshaw up on the outside. Craven had to stay up high. The 30 truck of Chafin down low. Craven getting a little loose. Just a little. Stays with Renshaw, though, on the back straightaway. He really wants her to move down to the inside, but she's not doing it. A little bit off the wall that time. These tires are going to be shot at the end of this race, though, for Ricky Craven. Really see this truck floating around quite a bit, even in the tri-oval especially. Renshaw down towards the bottom that time in turns 1 and 2. They're definitely catching the 3 trucks running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th up in front of these guys. When you're thinking big picture, though, for the point standings, Craven gets out of here with a 6th place finish and holds on to that points lead. I think he'll take it. Bobby Hamilton came in 4th in the standings, what, 88 back? So he's not going to take the lead with a win, even if he leads the most laps. And Craven was able to get 5 bonus points today for leading laps with the fuel strategy. So even if he doesn't win, the fuel strategy going gas and go only here on this final stop is going to get him a 6th place finish. And at worst right now, unless he gets into a wreck, or obviously if we get a late race restart, anything could happen. He could gain spots, he could lose spots. Bobby Hamilton doesn't have any drafting help, though, right now. I will say that much. Craven's going to give Renshaw a big push on the back straightaway. Oh, no! Craven got underneath Renshaw. And Renshaw threw a little bit of a block. Craven was just kind of hoping she was going to stay in the gas and go to the outside because Craven didn't have the grip anyway to make the pass. Or enough of a run. Craven up to 5th, but that's going to cost any sort of a shot of trying to get to 2nd now. Yeah, she ruined that one. Chase Montgomery in the 18 truck. It's closed in. Craven just trying to hang on to 5th at this point now. In case there's a caution, you want every position you possibly can get. 19 laps to go. Trying to side draft Marvin Sheth in that 133 truck who's up on the outside right now. Craven with the deep dive into turn 1. Getting a good push from the 18 truck from behind. That outside's getting the surge, though. Craven doesn't have the rear grip. He slides up into the outside, right in front of Renshaw. Trying to get the run on the back straightaway with Marvin Sheth. And may actually consider just drafting behind Sheth for the meantime. Montgomery down low off turn 4. Craven's got to go for it. Well, Craven back up to 5th. He clears Sheth into turn 1 for that 5th place position. Craven trying to block. Up into the outside wall, just a bit off turn 4, down the track, still hanging on in front of Montgomery. I don't know how Montgomery didn't get by him that time. 3 wide into 3. Oh, Craven got a little arrow loose from the 18 truck. He's stuck against the wall and can't get off of it. Now he's back to 9th. 10th, rather. Jesus. Still have 17 laps to go. Everybody's on the lead lap, so even if we did get a caution, it's not worth pitting. I really wish I didn't lock the tires up when I came into the pits. I was just trying to get as much time as I could. I didn't think it was really going to burn the tires that much. But it did. It's infuriating that I can't get a good finish at this track on this game. In any of the EA games. I'm bound for a top 10. Ricky Craven's making this thing wide. We're getting a top 10. Still not going to be easy. Especially on older tires. But need all the points we can get here. Season finale is at Daytona too, which I'm kind of regretting now. I mean, this truck was fast. We had, oh my goodness. Saved it again. Just got aero loose off of turn 4, and the truck goes around that time, and somehow Ricky Craven kept it off the wall. I mean, that's a brilliant save, the fact that I did not wreck that race truck. Kept it off the wall, kept it going. I want to pit so bad, but we're going to lose so many spots that I don't think I'm going to be able to get back. We have to stay out. It's our 4th caution. We did not end the race on a long green flag run. We're going to have a restart with about 10 to go. Bobby Hamilton's still in the lead. Yep, he's in the 04. Got a couple trucks a lap down, I guess, but I mean, we were still going to be like 30th. I can't give up 20 positions because there's no way I'd get that back before the end of the race. Not in 11 laps, especially if we see the big one before the finish. Green flag back in the air. Gonna have Todd Kluver try to follow Ricky Craven once we get up to speed. We'll contact up in that lead pack, it looked like. Saw some sparks flying. The 50 is Todd Kluver. That's our teammate. Heading into turns 3 and 4 as the field gets up to speed. Kluver drafting right now. His truck is very, very loose. Gets to the inside of Kluver. They're going to be split 3 wide, it looks like, as the 110 is up on the outside. Oh, that's a near wreck. Oh, no, Craven got turned. I think the 50 truck of Todd Kluver clipped the truck on the outside, the 110. The 110 came back across the track and clipped Ricky Craven. And the 110 goes sliding down into the grass. And everybody else behind was able to check up in time. Another slide for Ricky Craven. He's had quite a few of those today. 2 of them in which there have been cautions. I don't know how he doesn't have severe damage on this race truck still, but he's hanging on for dear life. 6 laps to go. Green flag back in there. They were 3x3 in the tri-oval. It just did not work. I think Kluver clipped the truck on the outside, like I said. And Craven getting a couple spots on the restart. Up to 7th. He wasn't 10th. Trying to make this truck wide. That was a little too wide. No caution, we stay green. Oh my gosh. Raven trying to block the 38 of Brandon Witt as it's a 6-truck breakaway at the front of the field right now. Craven's truck is just wobbling all over the place. Can't even hold it straight on the straightaways. And he's going to have to be very, very careful with trucks directly in line behind him off the exit of the corners especially. We've seen him get aero loose already and spin out. With 5 laps to go in this race, can Bobby Hamilton Sr. hold on to win? At all costs, Craven trying to get a top 10 today. Brandon Wick got to get around him on the back straightaway. Craven's got a little bit of help from behind from the 82. Craven drives out of it. Got arrow loose again, and he's back to 9th. Four to go. Didn't spin out that time. Didn't lift either. 82 up on the outside. Big block thrown. Wow. This truck is a handful right now. Trying to block, but the truck gets so loose with the air taking off the rear spoiler whenever somebody else gets directly behind him. Just 3 laps to go. That's all he has to hold on, but it's 3 long laps at the Daytona International Speedway. And that pack is slowly starting to catch up as well. That is further behind the 9th and 10th place race trucks. Bobby Hamilton has dominated the second half of this race today, both before and since the pit stops. Even after spinning earlier in the race and crashing into the wall. Loose on entry that time for Ricky Craven. 82 trying to get underneath him off the exit of turn 4. There's contact. Craven holds on to it. The 82 truck's up into the outside wall. And we'll get the 2 laps to go. No caution, we stay green. If we get to the final lap, no cautions can come out on the final lap. And I think they might be far enough behind now that Craven probably won't have to deal with having to block another run, and he won't have to worry about getting air loose anymore. Speeds will be a bit slower, so it'll be a little easier to handle without any drafting help in front of him too. That might have been the best thing for Ricky Craven, honestly. Unless they catch him. Big head of steam. Oh my gosh, the truck's still loose. Even nobody there. White flag, final lap for Bobby Hamilton. I'm glad I stayed out though, because I still got a top 10. Unless I spin out on my own at Daytona. That'd be a little disappointing. Even with the truck as loose as it is. Man, just one more corner. I can lift if I have to. They're not going to catch me. We had a race-winning truck, potential race-winning truck on speed, but we could just never get the track position today. When we did, we had old tires on pit strategy to do so. It wasn't meant to be once again, but it was meant to be for Bobby Hamilton as he has won the Daytona 250 tonight in the 11th race of the season on the the custom scheduled truck series season. 9th place finish for Ricky Craven after starting last. He led some laps, so he got 5 bonus points. And Kluver rounds out the top 10 in 10th place as well. So both the Roush cars get top 10s after all today. I don't know. I know we could have been better. It's disappointing. But at the same time, as bad as that truck was handling there, those final 20 laps, I'm all right surviving with the top 10s. And hopefully we still have the points lead. We have to get better at Daytona before that season finale, though. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, but we have to have better luck. I did all I could. Missing slow trucks 3 and 4 wide just for me to just get aero loose late in the race and spin. And I mean, the tires were shot before that. If I didn't lock the tires up coming into the pits, I don't think the truck would have been that loose late. But if I didn't do that, my pit road entry time would have been slower. and I probably would have cycled back further in the field as well than what I actually did. So I don't know. It's kind of a lose-lose situation at that point, really. But that's all right. It's disappointing, but at the same time, it's kind of relieving. I don't know what to think of this race for myself. I mean, I ran the clean. This game was trying to throw stuff at me. From that save I had in turns 1 and 2 when the 153 threw a bad block on me, the Kyle Busch Bud Shootout 2012-like save, to just missing 3 and 4 wide up the middle stack-ups that were happening, not lifting, not making contact in the process of doing so. Just like this, like I said, it threw everything at me to try and wreck. And even though we got spun twice, the one time we were air loose, the other time we just got clipped in the right rear. The truck on the outside got turned, and then we got clipped as well. And that was just kind of an innocent bystander situation. And a part of being 3 wide in the pack at Daytona. But didn't really have any damage on the racetrack, though. So kept it clean, just didn't have the tires on it. Only 4 lead changes at Daytona in a truck race that was 100 laps. 5 cautions for 15 caution laps. 1/10 of a second margin of victory. Hour 52 minutes total time of the race today. 133.57 miles per hour was the average race speed. Bobby Hamilton gets the most points today because he gets the max points and the race win. So 47 laps led for him out of the 100. Chase Montgomery finishes second. Shigeki Hattori, 31 laps led, finishes third. Bill Lester fourth. John Hamilton rounds out the top 5. Deborah Renshaw in 6th. Good run for her. Brandon Witt in 7th. Spencer Claiborne 8th, Ricky Craven 9th, and Todd Kluber rounds out the top 10. Craven led 12 laps today. Kluber did not lead any. And that was that. Catherine H., thanks for tuning in. Thanks for that comment as well. Glad you guys had fun watching it. There was definitely some wild moments throughout the course that made it entertaining with me just trying to miss some stuff. Kind of a sloppy start to the race, but then we had that quick caution when Hornaday wrecked from the lead randomly. I mean, that was one thing, too. Early in the race, we had the second place truck spin out on their own, and eventually Hamilton came back to win the race anyway. But then we had Ron Hornaday spit out from the lead and then flip down into the infield. Another truck, the 153, I think, flipped earlier, trying to throw that bad block on me, and he turned himself. I mean, there was some wild stuff that we were able to miss. Just in the eye of the storm there, late on old tires. 28 trucks finished on the lead lap today. We had quite a few DNFs. A lot of DNFs. Parker, Fletcher, Chapman, Hornaday actually DNF'd, which isn't surprising considering he flipped earlier in the race. Led 10 laps before that. Clement DNF. Eubanks DNF'd. Chad Chafin, I think, finished the race just 4 laps down, as well as Goldston finished the race 2 laps down. So 6 DNFs tonight in the 5 cautions. Ron Hornaday, who came in second in points, started on the pole trying to go for back-to-back wins. Unfortunately, will not get back-to-back wins. And we'll check the point standings before we end the stream. That is the first win of the season for Bobby Hamilton Sr., which means we now have 8 different winners in the first 11 races of the Truck Series season. It has been absolutely wild thus far. Absolutely wild. That is the 8th top 10 of the year for Ricky Craven. Still sitting at 4 wins. Wilson Eubanks won the first race at Daytona. I led 9 laps in the first Daytona race, 12 in this, so we're definitely not leading a lot of laps. I have to get to the front. The first race I qualified, I still couldn't lead laps. This race I didn't qualify, and I led more laps. So on fuel strategy, I don't know. We have one of the longest races of the season up next for the Truck Series schedule. It'll be at the Old Spice Speedway for the running of the Cheese Wheel 200, 133 lap road course truck race. That will be sometime else. It's not going to be this week. I don't know if it'll be next week or not before I head to Phoenix. We'll have to wait and see. But needless to say, it was fun watching this Truck Series race and racing the Truck Series race with you guys watching as usual. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow night on the channel, everybody. Take care. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Start Time. NASCAR 22, Martinsville will be the next race of the schedule there, 400-lap event. Buckle up because it is going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Have a good rest of your Tuesday evening, everybody. Ethan Weeder also welcome into the stream. Yeah, Old Spice will be fun, for sure. Have a good night.